Good evening, I'm Matthew Cash.
And I'm Hadiza Hassan. Here's what's coming up next on Panthervision. Students are arrested as they march on Oakland Avenue to support Oakland, California.
Let him go! Let him go! Let him go!
This is wrong. This is wrong.
Plus, a bitter debate in the Assembly, how the removal of one qualification may affect your financial aid.
And you may overlook the man in the hat, but he might just brighten your day.
All that and more coming up on UW-M Panthervision.
From the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, this is UW-M Panthervision. A weekly newscast reported, written, and produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication. And now, the news.
Good evening. A UWM student protest ends in arrests.
It started peacefully in Spates Plaza, then moved to Oakland Avenue.
And as Panthervision's Stephen Burgermeister reports, that's when things changed.
Walk out! Walk out! Walk out! Walk out!
Gina Bender and other UW-Milwaukee students are walking out of class today.
Bail out the students, not the banks!
These students are skipping class for a cause.
The city of Oakland is being shut down right now, and we're out here to show support for them. As of today, the city of Oakland is being shut down, and we are here to show solidarity with those strikers.
What started as a walkout for the city of Oakland turns into a march on Oakland Avenue.
Milwaukee is Oakland! Oakland is Milwaukee!
As the crowd marches down Oakland Avenue, Milwaukee police are keeping an eye on protesters.
Leave the street so that the proper flow of traffic can get by.
Some of the protesters decide to continue marching in the street.
Let him go! 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 Let him go!
Milwaukee police arrest a handful of protesters who didn't move the march to the sidewalk.
Let him go! Let him go! Let him go!
UWM student protester Aaron Luther says the police use unfair tactics.
Didn't even give people a chance to get off the sidewalk. They just grabbed them and started arresting them.
Gina Bender says the walkout and march will draw more attention to the Occupy Wall Street movement in Milwaukee.
Yeah, I mean, it was a success. We took to the streets. It's unfortunate that 3 people got arrested, 2 students and a journalist.
In Milwaukee, I'm Stephen Burgermeister for Panthervision.
Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel editors say the arrest of one of their journalists violates the First Amendment. Christina Wentz-Graff was arrested as she tried to take pictures. A Milwaukee police spokeswoman says officers did not know she was a journalist, but Wentz-Graff was wearing press credentials, and the crowd tried to tell police during the arrest. Journal-Sentinel editor Martin Kaiser says Wentz-Graff was just doing her job and was clearly not a part of the protest. Kaiser says she did not ignore any commands from officers, adding that her arrest was uncalled for and violates the First Amendment. The Wisconsin News Photographers Association is supporting Wentz-Graff. They say, quote, "It is time for Milwaukee police to recognize that photography is not a crime. Journalists provide a public service, but in Milwaukee they are being treated like a public threat."
As the protest moved back to Spates Plaza, an ambulance and fire truck were on Hartford Avenue. It turns out that had nothing to do with the protest. Paramedics were called to provide medical assistance to a student in Garland Hall. Wisconsin's new concealed carry law is now in full effect, and that has some UW-M students concerned. Panthervision's Jason Simpson has the story.
The new concealed carry law has many people up in arms. However, Lieutenant Bump of the UW-M Police Department says they will continue to provide a safe environment for students, faculty, and staff. The only problem is a little bit of retraining of the police officers.
The only concern is just a different mindset for police officers. We've always been trained for forever that someone carrying a concealed weapon is a danger to us.
Behind me is Hartford Elementary School, and under the old open carry law, you could not possess a loaded gun within a 1,000-foot radius. However, under the new concealed carry law, you can possess a loaded gun right up to the property line.
You can be within 1,000 feet of a school, you just cannot be on that school property. And when I say school, I mean elementary school, middle school, high school, not university.
The idea that fellow students may be walking around packing heat has Ben Formanek very concerned.
I really don't think it's necessary. There aren't too many people on campus out to get you. I mean, you get a little bit more west on North Ave. That's a different story, but I mean.
Justin Bryant, an accounting major at UWM, says the new law won't really change anything.
I think Milwaukee's a pretty violent city as it is. I think it's kind of really not going to affect as far as violence. I think as far as violence in my neighborhood, I think it's just going to continue to be the way it is, and my neighborhood's a pretty violent neighborhood.
Fear of the unknown seems to be the greatest concern among students. In Milwaukee, I'm Jason Simpson for Panthervision.
Wisconsin is the 49th state to allow the concealed carry of weapons. Illinois is now the only state that does not.
State lawmakers are embroiled in a bitter debate over scholarships. At issue is whether race should be a factor for scholarship programs and grants. Republicans say race and ethnicity should not play a role, but that has Democrats furious.
I thought it was bad when we fought for collective bargaining. This is going to be worse.
You can't imagine a world, what it might be like to not be white, to not have what you have. This is just awful and it's disgusting.
It would be more in that spirit, in the spirit of I have a dream, to take race out of this.
I worked with Dr. King. I knew Dr. King. Unfortunately, you misinterpret his meaning. So
whether you want to call it covert or I want to call it overt, what it is racism at its highest institutional level.
This is wrong. This is wrong.
The Assembly passed the amendment along party lines. The State Higher Education Board says it hasn't used race as a criteria for more than a year.
UW system schools are now putting some numbers to the latest round of state budget cuts. And the two biggest schools are getting hit the hardest. UW-Madison and UW-Milwaukee are expected to absorb more than half of the $66 million in cuts. Madison will lose almost $26 million, and UWM is expected to lose about $9 million. UWM is already facing $50 million in cuts from the original state budget. State administrators say the latest cuts are necessary because tax revenues will not be as high as originally projected.
Despite the budget shortfall and expected cuts, UWM is still building a school of freshwater science. The State Building Commission this week added $3 million to the project's budget. Construction of the 100,000 square foot building will begin in July of 2012. The project's budget is now $53 million.
The University of Wisconsin Board of Regents is getting 3 new members. Governor Scott Walker will appoint Gerald Whitburn of Wausau, Tim Higgins of Appleton, and Gary Roberts of Onalaska to the board. Regents serve 7-year terms. The state Senate must approve the appointments.
As fall gives way to winter, many students will hit the tanning booths. But one Wisconsin woman is urging caution. She says adding a tan to your body could potentially take years off your life. Sarah Christofferson has the story.
Watching indoors to get their vitamin D fix.
I just feel I look better when I'm tanner, so.
But are the long-term effects of having artificially tanned skin really worth it? Jane Felton doesn't think so.
Sure enough, 2 days later, he said, you have basal cell carcinoma, skin cancer.
Doctors had to remove a piece of skin from her forehead and attach it to her nose to reconstruct her face.
They actually took out all of my nose. I mean, it was pretty much gone, right at the tip of my nose.
Jane is grateful that her experience has changed the tanning habits of her 2 daughters, but hopes that more people will think twice before using tanning beds.
Now I gotta do what I gotta do because it's more important that I stay around so I can see my daughters get married and have grandchildren.
According to skincancer.org, tanning bed users are 74% more likely to develop melanoma than those who don't use tanning beds.
Even though UWM sophomore Renata Howard is aware of the health risks associated with tanning beds, she still continues to tan.
I don't want to say I'm not worried about it, but at this point it's not as important to me
What many young adults fail to realize is melanoma is a fatal form of skin cancer and is considered a young person's disease.
Cancer, I've known a girl actually in my grade who had melanoma 2 years ago, so when she was a sophomore.
What's Jane's advice for avid tanners?
Yeah, don't do it. I mean, because like I said, you know, it's a moment, and really in the big picture of things, does that really matter that much if you're tan?
So in the end, is it worth risking your health for a temporary glow? In Milwaukee, I'm Sarah Christofferson for Panthervision.
Experts say about 90% of melanomas are associated with too much UV exposure. Melanomas are treatable if caught early. Coming up next, we'll show you how student excitement can generate energy.
And chillier weather may be headed our way. Chris Nelson has our forecast when we come back.
This is where powerful ideas lead to proven results. This is where you belong.
Thanks for watching UWM Panthervision, judged Best Student Newscast by the Northwest Broadcast News Association. Panthervision is produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication in association with Milwaukee Area Technical College.
UWM's Guest House wasn't just a place to eat last week, but a place to work out.
A special concert welcomed a crowd of students ready to work for their entertainment. Callie Kohler has the story.
Phil Chin was drenched in sweat by the time the Invaders took an intermission.
It's a good workout. The resistance on this is not as easy as I expected, so you really have to push hard.
It wasn't because he was dancing, although plenty were, but because he was one of the many students who powered the show.
It's amazing. It's amazing when you think about it. And for the band, it's really cool to be playing under human power.
It was Dan's fourth appearance on campus. He started Powered by the People 8 years ago. It generated Phil's workout to an energy-efficient concert production.
We've got a traditional type spin bike that we've outfitted with some proprietarily made generators.
There's 11 bikes in total, each with the potential to generate up to 500 watts. That's enough to power the entire concert at any given moment.
Lead singer Max Wisniewski had some doubts about the bikes.
That made me a little nervous because if power goes out, we go out. So I was a little skeptical about playing a show like this.
But Phil and his fellow bikers pulled through.
So as you can tell, I've sweated through my shirt, and I wasn't expecting that.
All in all, the bike-powered concert lasted 2 whole hours. At UWM's Gas House, I'm Callie Kohler for Panthervision.
Pedaling can do more than power concerts. A UW-Madison study shows biking around town not only saves money, but lives as well. The study found that if residents in 11 Midwestern cities would take their bikes on half of their short trips, it would save $7 billion in air quality and healthcare costs. A short trip is defined as being 5 miles or less. The increase in physical fitness and decrease in air pollution would save about 1,100 lives per year.
UW-Whitewater's marketing department is among the best in the country. The Journal of Marketing Education has ranked it first for the number of articles published in prominent education journals. UW-Whitewater beat out the schools such as Baylor, Texas Tech, and University of Denver. A professor at Whitewater tied for first with 6 articles published.
UWM is doing some marketing of its own, targeting prospective students. High school seniors may wonder what college life is really like, but as Panthervision's Heather Klein reports, UW offers an opportunity for prospective students to live the life.
Seemed like a quiet day at UWM. But just around the corner, trolleys full of future students came to see what UWM has to offer. And the answer was more than just education.
The entire college experience, and that's one of the main reasons why I chose UWM.
The open house on October 28th and 29th featured what you wouldn't normally imagine. Ping pong and Panthers, treadmills and technology,
and your photos will come out here in just a moment.
This is salmon, I think that's tofu and crab.
and photos and food. Were just some of what the event exposed.
It's not every day that UWM is packed with activities, but this time we have a different story on our hands.
The pre-college kids were very impressed.
The atmosphere was very friendly. The people were very helpful in explaining stuff. I like the sports booth because I'm interested in, keeping active and healthy, and so that was pretty helpful.
Coordinators can officially say, mission accomplished. At the UW-Milwaukee Student Union, I'm Heather Klein with Panthervision.
There are no more open houses scheduled this semester, but there are more preview days, with the next one scheduled for December 9th. Chris Nelson from the Atmospheric Sciences program is now here with weather.
Hi, Chris.
How's it going, guys?
It's going fine.
Are we going to need our umbrella and rain boots this week, Chris?
Well, yeah, weather lately, the past couple of weeks, we've had the same trend. We've had the warm air, and then we go to a low pressure system, and then boom, we have cold air basically. And that's kind of what we're seeing from last week in this weather video. We did see some wind and some rain last Wednesday into Thursday. And if you're actually looking at a US map, you would see some isobars on this map here. And the closer those isobars are together, that's what actually causes wind here. So the difference in barometric pressure there kind of causes this wind that we're seeing right here. Those flags definitely blowing hard here. But for this week here, weather headline, sunshine for today, by far the best day of the week. Enjoy it, because tonight and into tomorrow and early part of Wednesday, rain does move on in and the cooling trend does continue. A cold front will push across the area after this storm system does come through here. But currently right now in Milwaukee, we do have a few clouds out there, but mostly sunshine. And those temperatures right now at about 50 degrees, just check the National Weather Service website, it is about 55 degrees. So the temperatures are warming up due to this wind, that southwest wind helping to bring up a little bit more moisture, as well as some warmer temperatures that's blowing from at 6 miles per hour. And the barometric pressure is holding steady at 30.22. So our forecast today, we'll see basically what we're going to go right into tonight actually here. And we'll call for cloudy conditions and as well the rain. After midnight, the low will be 45 degrees and the wind will be at coming out of the east from 10 to 15 miles per hour. Lows from last night, pretty much comfortable across Wisconsin, about average 30s to the north, 35 Rhinelander, 36 Eau Claire, 37 La Crosse. Down in the south here in Milwaukee, we did see a few more clouds there. That helped to keep the temperature around 42 degrees. And as we head on in today, if you're traveling across the Badger State, you're going to need the sunglasses. It is going to be a really nice day out. Sunshine all across the state here. 48 Rhinelander, 51 Eau Claire, 58 Madison, warm spot 59 in Milwaukee. We do have a low pressure system down to our south and west, causing some severe weather down in Texas and Oklahoma. That will be moving across our area for tonight or for tonight and into the next couple of days here. That low pressure system actually just going to creep right over Milwaukee here. It's going to give us a chance for maybe some small thunderstorms, but a lot of rain, heavy rain, as much as 2 to 3 inches of rain associated with this. And then as that storm does creep in, the northern part of Wisconsin could see some snow here. So our forecast again for tonight, clouds increasing by about midnight. That rain will turn and we'll get some pretty heavy downpours as well. 45 degrees will be our low temperature. And then for tomorrow, that rain does continue. I did stress it will be heavy at times. We could see some thunderstorms, as much as 2 to 3 inches of rain as possible. 50 degrees will be our high temperature. Those east winds off the lake will be chilly, blowing from 10 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, the rain does continue in the morning. We'll see again, as I mentioned, probably 2 or 3 times, as much as 3 inches of rain. We could see some flooding. It doesn't look too great at this point, though. 45 degrees will be our high temperature. Those winds will change from the southwest to the northwest eventually, 15 to 25 miles per hour. And then our Panthervision 5-day forecast here. Wednesday, I mentioned that with the rain, the storm system does move off towards the east. Cold front behind it, and that's where we're going to see that cold air on Thursday. 45 will be our high temperature with mostly sunny skies. High pressure sets in Friday and Saturday, 47 degrees and 51 degrees on Saturday. And then Sunday looks to be probably the next best day after today, 59 degrees and cloudy as a small low pressure system does move across the area. You might see a chance of some showers, guys. So best day by far is today. Sunshine, 60 degrees. It might get even warmer than that. So I would say enjoy today and maybe Sunday if you want to get outside too. Yeah. 2 best days of the week.
I'm hoping to get my dog to the park this weekend. So
yeah, Sunday by far the best day. So do it on Sunday.
Thanks, Chris.
Yep.
There's a bit of construction going on at the MATC campus. Casey Williamson has the story.
Is under construction at the Milwaukee Public Television studio. Let's see how it affects the staff and the MATC students.
Well, the roof has been leaking for a number of years and it's been getting worse. So what we have to do with the entire roof system, because of the age of the building, is inspect what supports the roof. So the roof is supported by metal beams, I-beams that hold up a series of concrete planks, and then the tar and the other insulation is put on above that.
I interviewed a student to see how he feels about the construction project.
I mean, I really have a problem just because of the simple fact it's so crowded down here. We had to clean out the prop room, and now the prop room is different offices, so now everything that was left over from the prop room is now just scattered all over the studio. So, I mean, it's real hard kind of, I guess, moving the stuff around from show to show, and I mean, it becomes a hassle sometimes, but you know, I guess hopefully the roof will look good.
This is Casey Williamson reporting for MATC.
The construction is expected to last several weeks.
The graduation rate for the UWM men's basketball program is at 67%. That stacks up well compared to Madison, whose men's basketball program has a graduation rate of 50%. That's the lowest graduation rate among men's basketball teams in the state. The highest is UW Green Bay at 100%. The UWM women's basketball graduation rate is at 87%.
The Lady Panthers get home field advantage in the tournament.
And you may not notice him while you study, but give him your time and he might just make your day.
That and more when Panthervision returns.
This is where powerful ideas lead to proven results. This is where you belong.
A strong, productive workforce. Building one requires proper education and training, not just for today, but for tomorrow. That's why for the last 100 years, thousands of successful workers wearing hats like these began their careers with this one hat.
Thanks for watching UWM Panthervision, Judge Best Student Newscast by the Northwest Broadcast News Association. Panthervision is produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication in association with Milwaukee Area Technical College.
The UWM soccer team is headed to the NCAA tournament.
Stephanie Stock joins us now with sports.
The UWM Panthers women's soccer team will be in the NCAA tournament for the 4th consecutive year. The Panthers beat Wright State 5-1 for the Horizon League championship. Horizon League Player of the Year Sarah Hagan led the Panthers with 2 goals. Wright State scored first, but the UWM Panthers scored 5 unanswered goals to win the game.
Substitutions for the Warriors, number 10, Becca Downey, Porcero, number 14, Michelle.
The UWM women's soccer team's great season extends off-field as well. Panthervision's Caitlin Lucier has more on the story.
While supporting Breast Cancer Awareness Month, parents, faculty, and fans are also honoring the accomplishments of 5 girls.
That figure has her ranked to the top 10 nationally.
The 5 seniors on the women's soccer team are being recognized as the Fab Five of 2011 as they play their last season at UWM. Senior additions Kira Thompson and Sarah Hagan are among the 5 girls celebrating their achievements at the game against Green Bay. As a 3rd-time recipient of the Player of the Year award, Hagan isn't taking full credit.
We're all playing together, people are putting in the work together, so I really couldn't do it without my teammates.
Preparation, teamwork, and an award-winning coaching staff are contributing factors to this season's success.
Here, the regular season and tournament has been big for us, and being an NCAA tournament each year.
Expectation should be that we score every one.
Head coach Michael Moynihan expects nothing but the best from his team. As Moynihan says goodbye to a talented group of seniors, he wishes them continued success.
I just hope they continue in soccer. I hope they still love the game.
Although Thompson is a pre-med student, she still wants soccer to be part of her future.
It'd be nice to maybe go overseas or do something like that, but we'll have to see after this season's over.
And for Hagan, there's no question she will continue on with her soccer career.
Yeah, soccer is definitely in my future. I want to continue playing as long as I can. I'm hoping to play in the WPS after the college season.
The senior girls have faith that the program's tradition of success will continue. In Milwaukee, I'm Caitlin Lucier for Panthervision.
The women's team is currently ranked 15th in the country. The men's soccer season is over. They lost to University of Illinois Chicago on Saturday, knocking them out of the conference tournament. The Panthers beat Northern Illinois 1-0 Wednesday night at Engelman Stadium. Zach Stevenson's goal and junior John Shakin's 9 saves helped lead the Panthers to victory. The Panthers finished the season with a record of 6-10-2. The MATC Stormers basketball team is preparing for their first game this season. Dan Jarris has a preview in this MATC.
The MATC Stormers basketball team is getting ready for the 2011-2012 season. They've been practicing since October 1st, and Coach Randy says it's going well.
As a team, obviously our top goal is to, make it to a national tournament. It's going to start game by game, getting some wins and winning our conference, and then the ultimate goal would be to make it to the national tournament in New York.
Many of Coach Randy's athletes are playing with the same goals in mind.
Our goals this season as a team is to get to the national tournament in New York. Personally, I'd like to be all conference academically and on the court.
Coach Randy would once again like to keep his coaching style simple.
Our concepts are the same. Different people, you have to do things a little different depending on what you have as players, but for the most part, our concepts are the same.
The MATC Stormers seem confident going into the first game of the season.
Yeah, I think first games are kind of hard to guess. Everybody's got jitters, everybody's got the crowd. I think we got the kind of guys that can compose themselves.
This season, the Stormers are striving for success. For MATC Panthervision, I'm Dan Jarris.
The Stormers open up their home season against Silver Lake College on November 11th. Concordia University is getting a brand new baseball field. Capco Incorporated of Grafton is donating $1 million for the field. The owner of Capco has teamed with former Brewers Hall of Famers Robin Yount and Bob Euchre to bring a new baseball team to the area. The team will be called the Lakeshore Chinooks and will play in a wood bat league featuring top college players in the country. The Chinooks and Concordia's baseball team will share the new field. That's it in the world of sports. Back to you, Hadiza.
Thanks, Stephanie. There might be more than meets the eye in the Golda Meir Library. As Panthervision's Asa Kwame tells us, it's a second home for one man.
To most people, the library is just a place to study. But for the custodial staff, it's much more.
I am working with a great bunch of people right now.
By 8 a.m., garbages are taken out, floors are swept, and bathrooms are cleaned. And that is only the beginning of the day for the man with the hat. Ray has worked on campus for 5 years now.
This is the focus area. And that's where everybody has an area they have to focus in. This is mine.
Ray goes above and beyond the demands of the job and doesn't expect much in return.
Ray is a super worker.
But for the people in Lubar, they felt Ray deserved a little more recognition.
Cat calls from the audience.
A few years back, Ray was voted Custodian of the Year for his hard work and big heart.
It wouldn't have made a difference if I didn't get an award. I would still be here, still doing my work.
The library isn't just a job for Ray, it's like his second home. Ray is not one to take vacation time, but a couple of years ago, he was forced to.
Something personal of mine that I had to do. I had to be home full time to take care of my problem with my wife. So that was, she passed away, so I came back.
But because of his lovable personality and kindness, it felt like he never left.
Get by without him.
So next time you're in the library and you happen to see good old Ray, don't be surprised if he sends a friendly wave your way. At Golda Meir Library, I'm Asa Kwame for Panthervision.
That's a report for tonight. Thanks for joining us.
You can watch UW-M Panthervision anytime on Time Warner's Wisconsin On Demand Channel 411.
You can also see us on Time Warner Channel 14 and AT&T UVerse Channel 99 at 5 o'clock on Wednesdays and Fridays.
Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next week.